How are you, child of God? This is the Remnant Seed Bible Study channel. Welcome. So you say you want to be the first one taken. I know all of you have heard this term, and you've heard Christians going around saying, I want to be the first one taken. So who is actually the first one taken in Matthew 24? Let's go through this and we'll find out. And our reference here is Matthew 24:38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah, which is the Greek rendition of Noah, entered into the ark. Now there's a deeper meaning to this. And they were actually mixing with the fallen angels of Genesis 6. This is a reference back to that. But this is also like a metaphor saying they were just carrying on as business as usual. Giving and taking, marriage, eating and drinking, just having a good old time, while the world around them was about to crumble and fall apart. And they just would not listen to Noah. And then you go to verse 39. And this is where all the confusion comes. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So you've heard this is saying the same thing as he's going to come like a thief in the night, and many people are going to be surprised. But many people are going to be surprised in the way that you don't think, because if they're caught worshiping the first Messiah, which is the antichrist, the real Christ is going to be a thief in the night to them because they've already been worshiping the false Messiah. And that's exactly what this whole thing here is referring to. You got to prepare yourself for this. You got to prepare yourself for this great tribulation because Satan is the cause of it. Yeah, he comes in peacefully and prosperously, but that is to deceive you and to make you believe that he is Christ. And this is in a physical sense, beloved. Don't let anybody tell you any different. This is a physical appearance of the Antichrist, the false Messiah, instead of Christ. And he will come like a thief in the night, and you will be taken away by his deception if you're not careful. Now, the analogy is the ones taken away are taken in the flood and drowned, and the ones who are left are safely aboard the ark. Beloved, can you believe this? They're running around saying, I want to be the first one taken. You serious? You want to be taken and drowned in the flood? That's what you're saying. Ignorance is not bliss. Beloved, that's what this is saying here. Be not deceived. Oh boy. The ones who are left are safely aboard the ark, Noah and his family. This is the analogy here, beloved. Now, they were taken by a flood of lies regarding the second coming. Noah built the ark to escape the coming flood, and the ones who were eating and drinking and giving in marriage were not preparing for the great flood because they didn't believe Noah, and it was business as usual for them. And a lot of people in the church, beloved, do not believe that we are in the generation of the fig tree and that we're the last generation. And that Christ's return it could be within the next few months. Christ's return, I want to spend a second on this. Christ's return is not imminent until after the man of sin, the son of perdition, stands in a holy place and claims to be God. So this notion that the return of Christ is at in any moment is just not true, beloved. It's just not true. It's not imminent until you see that wicked man of sin stand in a holy place and claim to be God. And then it's imminent. Then it's imminent. And by then, we're going to know basically the season that we are in. All right. So let's go. And the same goes for the pre-tribulation rapture believers. They believe they're going to be gone before the Great Tribulation, so to them there's really no need to prepare. Beloved, they believe the return of Christ is imminent right now before the man of sin is revealed. So they've just got it, their chronology all backwards. So they believe they're going to believe the first one that comes is the real Messiah. And this is the whole analogy here, is you have to prepare yourself for this, and then you have to wait and get safely aboard the ark for the return of the true Messiah. Now, unbelievers are going to be in the same boat, and there's no pun intended, but yet it's a pun, okay? They're going to be in the same boat with these rapture believers. They'll be swept away by the deception of the antichrist, with a flood of lies being cast out of his mouth. The ones taken are taken by the antichrist and actually believe he's the real Messiah. The ones left are safely aboard the ark and have prepared themselves for the deception and the great tribulation. And these poor, beloved, I don't want to talk down, but these people run around telling you, I want to be the first one taken. And they actually want to be drowned. And I'll show you that they actually want to be the ones in Sodom and Gomorrah that want to be burned with fire and brimstone. And that's what they're saying. And this is just the heights of ignorance. All right. And so it's hard to believe that this level of misunderstanding could be, but this proves, beloved, that God has sent these people strong delusion because they like their ears tickled. They don't want to have to go through any hardship. They think they're going to be gone. They don't have to really even prepare to do nothing. They're going to sit in church and sing Kumbaya until the false Messiah comes, and then they're going to be deceived. And this is sad, beloved. This is my life's work, is to try to warn these people and to try to turn them away from this false doctrine. Verse 40, then shall two be in the field, and one shall be taken, and the other left. 2 women shall be grinding at the mill, one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, for you know not what your Lord doth come. And it's the same thing here. The one taken is taken in the flood. The one left is left in the field to be doing the work and waiting for the true Messiah. Look at the words, took them all away, and look at the words, one shall be taken, and also the other shall be left. And the rapture believers have got this completely backwards. And they believe that the ones taken are taken away in rapture, when in reality it's the opposite, and they're taken and drowned in the flood. Can you believe that, beloved? Your false teacher is teaching you to want to be drowned in the flood, or want to wait in Sodom and Gomorrah for fire and brimstone to rain down. This is absolutely absurd. Luke 17:22. He said unto the disciples, the days will come when you shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and you shall not see it. And this is speaking of the time when he was with the disciples. There would come a day when they would desire to see him, and he's going to be gone. And they shall say to you, see here or see there, go not after them, nor follow them. Now he's speaking about his second coming. And again, this is a false portrayal. People running around saying, lo, here is Christ. Lo, there is Christ. He's coming, pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib. When in all reality, Christ is not coming back until after this event. The son of perdition stands in the holy place claiming to be God. Don't fall for their deception. Don't believe it when they say he's in the desert, or he's over here, or he's over there. If you can still pinch yourself, he's not here. And I use that colloquialism all the time, beloved. But this is exactly what this is speaking of. And if you look at all of these verses that speak of the second coming, they're all in context. For as lightning that lighteth out of the one part of under heaven, shineth unto the other part of heaven, so shall the Son of Man be in his day. This is speaking about the second coming. But first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this generation, speaking of the time that he was there with the disciples. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. It's going to be the same way, beloved. They're going to be completely surprised, and Christ will come as a thief in the night to them because they haven't prepared and studied the scriptures. They've been taught by a false teacher who's teaching them they're going to fly away like a bird, and it's nothing but a fairy tale. 27, they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark and a flood came and destroyed them all. The same thing, beloved. 28, likewise also as it was in the days of Lot. Now here's the analogy of Sodom and Gomorrah. Same thing. They did eat and they drank and they bought and sold. They planted, they builded. Now I like this word planted here. I believe this is actually referring to people who were involved in warning people. They were planting doctrine in their heads. And then there's also people who are running around planting false doctrine in your head. And you have a false expectation of safety and comfort when in reality, you are going to be left like naked as a jaybird. And you are going to be deceived if you do not prepare yourself. And these people were just business as usual, okay? The same analogy. 29, but the same day that Lot went out of Sodom and Gomorrah, rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Do you want to be with the crowd of the ungodly and be destroyed by the lies of Satan? And this is the exact analogy, beloved. All these go hand in hand like a glove. Lot got out of the city by God's instruction, and he was spared the wrath of God against Sodom and Gomorrah because he listened to God. He was actually in tune with God, and that's how you get in tune with God, is you read his word, and you rightly divide it, and you understand the word of truth. You don't believe some false teacher. Excuse me. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Here you go, same thing. In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop, and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. It's going to be too late by then. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Remember Lot's wife, and don't look back, beloved. Don't look back. Once you learn the truth, never look back. 33, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. And beloved, it takes a lifetime to understand the scriptures. Don't be one of these who are just running around like nothing's, like the end is not near. You got to prepare for this, beloved. 2 women shall be grinding together, one shall be taken and the other left. One's taken in the flood of lies, and the other is left aboard the ark, safely working in the field to prepare for the real second coming. 2 men shall be in the field, and one shall be taken, the other left. They answered and said unto him, Where, Lord? And he said, Unto whom? Unto them. Wheresoever the body is, thither the eagles, the vultures will be gathered together. Now this analogy, this word here, eagles, should be translated vultures. And this is saying that the vultures, the false teachers, are gathered around the body of Christ. This is my belief. And teaching you a false version of the second coming. They're actually leading you right into the arms of the antichrist, right? And then these vultures are just standing around waiting to gobble you up and teach you this false doctrine and lead you straight to the antichrist. And you'll be taken away in a flood of lies, beloved. Now let's go to Revelation 6, and we're going to see this physical casting down of the antichrist. Beloved, make no mistake, these verses are speaking of the antichrist, the false Messiah who will stand in a holy place and claim to be God. And guess what? He's got to be cast out from heaven to make a physical appearance and stand in a holy place. You got to connect this. You got to connect this. There's no other time in history that can fit Revelation 12:6-9. No other time. All right? And the woman fled into the wilderness. Now the woman is the church, where she had place prepared of God that they should feed her 1,260 days. Now notice the word days. That's referring to God's children. Prophecies given in days are regarding the Christian people of the world. And there was a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was there any place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So physical casting out, beloved. The devil and his angels will be here on the earth. And these are the 10 supernatural kings of Revelation. There's 10 earthly kings and there's 10 supernatural kings. At the time Satan is cast out, these will be taking orders from Satan. And this will be a time like no other time in history, beloved. It's a physical casting out of these fallen angels with Satan. And the word Abaddon means destroy on. That's one of the prime roots of Satan. And the word Apollyon is the same, prime root of the word Satan. There's only one entity that can fill these two roles, and that is Satan, the devil, that old serpent, the dragon. Now, beloved, look, I've given you all the names here. These are all the names of Satan. And I counted 33 of them. There could be more, right? But beloved, you must not confuse the entity itself with the role that he plays. I'm Mark Vaughn. I'm a drummer. I write music. I do podcasts. I have many trades or occupations. And all of these 33 names and roles are occupations of the devil. But beloved, make no mistake, they're all the same entity. Spoken of in Ezekiel 28, the anointed cherub. These are the roles he plays. Do not mix that up, beloved. It's very important that you understand that, okay? Verse 10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our lords and the power of his Christ, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before God day and night. And this is speaking of a physical casting out and his time on the earth in a physical role as the false Messiah. Therefore rejoice ye the heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. This is speaking about the multitudes of people. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has only a short time. And I believe that the time leading up to this, not really sure how long the tribulation will last leading up to the great tribulation. But beloved, there's the tribulation of Satan, and then there's the tribulation or the wrath of God. And Satan's tribulation will only last about 5 months. That's my belief. Revelation 9:5 and Revelation 9:10. And when the dragon saw that he was cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. The woman is the church, and the man-child is Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ came out of the loins of Judah and Levi, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. That's the woman with the 12 stars above her head. That's Mother Israel, beloved. That's where the child came from, the physical, carnal side of Jesus, the side of Mary. And you can trace her genealogy all the way back to Adam and Eve. And to the woman were given wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and a times and a half time from the face of the serpent. Now the earth helps the woman to escape this tribulation and the lies. And beloved, there may be a time when you gotta hightail it out of here and try to escape this, okay? And this is speaking of the wilderness. Mother Earth will help you in this. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. There you have it, beloved. The flood of Noah, the flood of lies, the flood, the flood, the flood, the flood. Beloved, do not lose track of this. Do you want to be taken in the flood? Then go ahead and study with these false teachers who tell you that the first one taken is taken away in a rapture. Beloved, it's nothing but a fairy tale. It's nothing but a fairy tale, and you are being deceived by listening to these knuckleheads. Okay, the same words used in Matthew and Luke are referring to a flood of lies, deception regarding the second coming. Another fact we find here is the church believers being focused on, and she is called the woman. And this completely debunks the pre-trib rapture false teaching that the church is gone after Revelation chapter 4. And beloved, I hear this time and time and time again, and it's so nauseating. This is proof right here. The church is mentioned many, many times after Revelation chapter 4. They claim the church is not mentioned after this. They show their lack of reading skills and basically they just cannot stick with the subject and the object and insert the church in. And it's John being spoken of. What do you mean? What do you think the word I means? It doesn't mean the church. They just hijack the scriptures and butcher them, beloved. Revelation 1:1. This is the scripture that they completely take out of context. And after this I looked, and behold, a door was open in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet, talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the Spirit, I, John, not the church, and beheld, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. You see the word mentioned. It's mentioned 3 times. I. It's not church, 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 rapture, rapture. Beloved, this makes me so angry. Sometimes I get just way too worked up over this, but this is so utterly absurd that they inject the church in here. Because they don't have any scriptures to back up what they claim. Okay? So they just reach for the stars, just pull a rabbit out of the hat and make this stuff up. Man, it's called contextual hijacking. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Beloved, who keeps the testimony of Jesus Christ? Who do you think that is, beloved? It's Christians. They're not gone before this in a rapture. This is so... I'm just going to quit harping on this, beloved. This is just absolutely absurd. And no wonder God has sent them strong delusion. All right, now we're getting another mention of this. Now let's go to Daniel 9:26. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, his crucifixion, but not for himself. And the people of the prince is speaking of the devil, Satan, the Antichrist, shall come, shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood of lies, Noah's flood, all the same thing, beloved. Speaking of this great deception, the great tribulation, unlike any other time in history. And to the end of the war, desolations are determined. The abomination of the desolator, he is a desolator. And he is going to desolate your soul if you let him deceive you, beloved. And 2 Peter 2:5, another reference, beloved, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the 8th person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. Do you want to be in the flood of the world of the ungodly, beloved? I don't think you do. Please listen, beloved. So the final analogy of all this is, do you want to be the first one taken in the flood of the ungodly? Do you want to be with a crowd that was destroyed in Sodom and Gomorrah? If you say you want to be the first one taken, that's exactly what you're saying. Be careful who your teacher is and study to show yourself to be approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. And do not be deceived. Do not follow false teachers, or you will be taken in the coming flood. Stay in the field working, for the fields are ripe for harvest. And beloved, that's the end of this lecture. Beloved, pick up that Bible and study this for yourself. If you look at the scriptures yourself, you will be led in the right direction. But if you follow these false teachers, beloved, they're going to lead you down Primrose Lane, straight into the arms of the false Messiah, and you will be taken away by his flood of lies. So that's the end of this one, beloved, and I'll see you on the next one. And I love you so much. Much love from my heart to yours. In Jesus' name.